Hello mga kaibigan, isang magandang oras po sa bawat isa mga kaibigan. Ito po si Jeff the Blind Explorer. Ayan, sa oras na ito may maikli po tayong tampok dito sa aking mga narration books na ina-upload. Ito po ang ukol sa lalawigan ng Albay. Sana po ay panoorin po ninyo ang presentation na ito at nang malaman po ninyo ang mga ukol sa mga bagay-bagay tungkol sa ating lalawigan ng Albay. Ayan, so i-upload ko po siya dito sa aking YouTube channel bilang advocacy at aking pakikiisa sa pagpopromote ng ating mga lugar dito sa Pilipinas. Sana po ay maibigan po ninyo ang aking tampok sa oras na ito. Maraming salamat. Ito po si Jeff the Blind Explorer. Bye-bye!
Albay Province in Bicol Region, Philippines. This article is about the Philippine Province. For other uses, see Albay, disambiguation, Albay, officially the province of Albay, Central Bicol, Provincia con Albay, Tagalog, Lalawigan ng Albay IPA, Elba, is a province in the Bicol region of the Philippines, mostly on the southeastern part of the island of Luzon. Its capital is the city of Legazpi, the regional center of the whole Bicol region, which is located in the southern foothill of Mayon volcano. Quick facts: country, region. The province was added to the Unesco World Network of Biosphere Reserves in March 2016. History: pre-Hispanic period. Long before the Spaniards arrived, Albay had a thriving civilization. Formerly called Ibat, and then Labog, Albay was once ruled by Gat Ibal, an old chief who also founded the old barangay of Sawangan, now part of the city of Legazpi. Historian William Henry Scott wrote that in the local epic called Side entitled Bingi of Lawan, an Albay Datu by the name of Dumaraug went to the Lakanat of Lawan to ask for the hands of Bingi, bringing with him 100 ships. Lawan is a prosperous Lakanat in Samar. Datu Hadi Ibaran came from the Lakanat of Lawan. He was described by Scott as a Samar Datu by the name of Ibaran, was rowed out to a Spanish vessel anchored in his harbor in 1543 by oarsmen collared in gold, while wearing on his own person earrings and chains. Spanish colonial period. In July 1569, Luis Enriquez de Guzman, a member of the expedition led by Maestro de Campo Mateo de Saz and Captain Martin de Goiti, led a group which crossed from Burias and Ticao Islands and landed on a coastal settlement called Ibalan in what is now the province of Sorsogon. From this point another expedition was sent to explore the interior and founded the town of Camilig. In 1573, Juan de Salcedo penetrated the Bicol Peninsula from the north as far south as Liban, establishing the settlement of Santiago de Liban. Jose Maria Penaranda, a military engineer, was made corregidor of the province on May 14, 1834. He constructed public buildings and built roads and bridges. The entire Bicol Peninsula was organized as one province with two divisions, Camarines in the northwest and Ibalan in the southeast. In 1636, the two partidos were separated, and Ibalan became a separate province with Sorsogon as capital. In the 17th century, Moro slave raiders from southern Philippines ravaged the northeastern coastal areas of the province of Albay. Mayon volcano, in one of its most violent eruptions, destroyed the 5 towns surrounding its base on February 1, 1814. This eruption forced the town of Cagsawa to relocate to its present site, Legazpi. A decree was issued by Governor-General Narciso Claveria in 1846 separating Masbate, Ticao and Burias from Albay to form the Comandancia of Masbate. Albay was then divided into 4 districts: Araya, Cordillera or Tabaco, Sorsogon and Catanduanes. Philippine Revolution. Glicerio Delgado, a condemned insurgent, started revolutionary activities in the province. With a headquarters in the mountain of Guinobatan town, he joined the revolutionary government of Albay as a lieutenant in the infantry. A unit of the Philippine militia was then organized by the Spanish military authorities. Mariano Riosa was appointed major of the Tabaco Zone, which comprised all the towns along the seacoast from Albay to Tiwa, while Anacieto Solano was appointed major for the Araya Zone, which was made up of the towns from Daraga to Libon. Each town was organized into sections of 50 men under the command of a lieutenant. During the Philippine Revolution on September 22, 1898, the Provisional Revolutionary Government of Albay was formed with Anacieto Solano as provisional president. Major General Vito Bellarmino, the appointed military commander, reorganized the Filipino army in the province. American colonial period. Following the Spanish-American War, the new colonial power, the United States, did not recognize the country's independence, which had been declared in June 1898, and the Americans subsequently acquired direct control of the country as a de facto colony, under the terms of the Treaty of Paris, 1898, over which the Filipinos had no say. During the Philippine-American War, Brigadier General William August Kobe headed the expedition that landed at the ports of Sorsogon, Bulan and Donsol. From there, the Americans marched to Legazpi and captured it. Although a civil government was established in Albay on April 26, 1901, Colonel Harry Hill Bandholtz, commanding officer of the constabulary in the Bicol region, said that General Simeon Ola, with 1,000 men, continued to defy American authority after the capture of Bellarmino in 1901. Ola was later captured with about 600 of his men. World War II. Following the December 12, 1941 Japanese invasion of Legazpi during the Second World War, the Kimura detachment of the Imperial Japanese Army occupied Albay Province. The region was defended only by the Philippine Constabulary Unit under the command of Major Francisco Sandico. During the Japanese occupation, the military general headquarters of the Commonwealth Army of the Philippines remained active from January 3, 1942, to June 30, 1946, and the 5th Constabulary Regiment of the Philippine Constabulary was established from October 28, 1944, to June 30, 1946, and stationed in Albay. Then came the clearing operations and anti-Japanese insurgency in the Bicol Peninsula, helped by the local Bicolano resistance. Some Bicolano guerrilla groups invaded around the province of Albay during the Japanese insurgencies between 1942 and 1944, and were supported by local Filipino troops under the Philippine Commonwealth Army and pre-war Philippine Constabulary 5th Infantry Regiments attacking the enemy soldiers of the Japanese Imperial Army. In the aftermath of 3 years of siege and conflicts, many Bicolano guerrillas were forced to retreat by the Japanese around the province before liberation in 1945 by Allied forces. Geography. The Mayan volcano dominates the geography of Albay. Albay has a total land area of 2,575.77 square kilometers, 994.51 square miles, which makes it the 53rd biggest province. The province is bordered by the provinces of Camarines Sur to the north and Sorsogon to the south. To the northeast lies the Laganoy Gulf, which separates the province from Catanduanes. To the southwest of the province is the Burias Pass with the island of Burias of Masbate Province located about 14 kilometers, 8.7 miles, offshore. In 2016, an area of 250,000 hectares, 620,000 acres, was declared a UNESCO Biosphere Reserve. The Albay Biosphere Reserve is home to 182 terrestrial plant species, of which 46 are endemic to the Philippines. Its marine waters and coastal area also provide habitat to 5 of the world's 7 marine turtle species, as well as mangrove, seagrass and seaweed ecosystems. Topography. The province is generally mountainous with scattered fertile plains and valleys. On the eastern part of the province is a line of volcanic mountains starting with the northernmost Malinao in Tiwa, followed by Mount Masaraga and the freestanding Mayan volcano, separated by the Poliki Bay as the Pactal Mountains in the town of Manito. The stratovolcano of Mayan, standing at around 2,462 meters, 8,077 feet, is the highest point of the province. It is the most famous landform in Albay and in the whole Bicol region. This active volcano falls under the jurisdiction of 8 municipalities and cities of Albay, Camalig, Daraga, Guinobatan, Legazpi City, Ligao City, Malilapad, Santo Domingo, and Tabaco City. The western coast of the province is mountainous but not as prominent as the eastern range, with the highest elevation at around 490 meters, 1,610 feet. Among these mountains are Mount Catbarawan in Ligao and Mount Pantao in Oz. Administrative divisions. Albay comprises 15 municipalities, towns and 3 component cities, Legazpi, Ligao and Tabaco. Political map of Albay. More information. City or municipality, population. Demographics. More information. Year, Pop. The population of Albay in the 2020 census was 1,374,768 people, making it the 20th most populous province in the country. It had a density of 530 inhabitants per square kilometer or 1,400 inhabitants per square mile. Based on the 2007 census, there were 208,640 households in the province with an average size of 5.22 persons, significantly higher than the national average of 4.99. Religion. Nuestra Señora de la Porteria Church in Daraga, built in 1773. Catholicism is the predominant religion in the province, affiliated by 97% of the Albay population. Citation needed. Each town has its own fiesta for their patrons and patronesses. Other religious denominations are the Iglesia Ni Cristo, INC, other Protestant churches such as the Baptist Church, Methodist, other evangelical Christians, Seventh-day Adventists, Mormons, Jehovah's Witnesses, as well as Islam. Prior to colonization, the region had a complex religious system which involved various deities. Among these deities include Gugurong, the supreme god who dwells inside of Mount Mayon, where he guards and protects the sacred fire in which Aswang, his brother, was trying to steal. Whenever people disobey his orders, wishes and commit numerous sins, he would cause Mount Mayon to burst lava as a sign of warning for people to mend their crooked ways. Ancient Bicolanos had a rite performed for him called adding Asuang, the evil god who always tried to steal the sacred fire of Mount Mayon from his brother, Gugurong. Addressed sometimes as Aswang, he dwells mainly inside Mount Malinao. As an evil god, he would cause the people to suffer misfortunes and commit sins. Enemy of Gugurong and a friend of Bulan, the god of the moon. Halia, the masked goddess of the moonlight and the arch-enemy of Bakunawa and protector of Bulan. Her cult is composed primarily of women. There is also a ritual dance named after her, as it is performed to be a countermeasure against Bakunawa. Bulan, the god of the pale moon. He is depicted as a pubescent boy with uncommon comeliness that made savage beast and the vicious mermaids, Majandara, tame. He has deep affection towards Magindong, but plays with him by running away so that Magindong would never catch him. The reason for this is because he is shy to the man that he loves. If Magindong manages to catch Bulan, Halia always comes to free him from Magindang's grip. Magindong, the god of the sea and all its creatures. He has deep affection to the lunar god Bulan and pursues him despite never catching him. Due to this, the Bicolanos reason that it is to why the waves rise to reach the moon when seen from the distant horizon. Whenever he does catch up to Bulan, Halia comes to rescue Bulan and free him immediately. Okot, god of forest and hunting. And Bakunawa, a gigantic sea serpent deity who is often considered as the cause of eclipses, the devourer of the sun and the moon, and an adversary of Halia, as Bakunawa's main aim is to swallow Bulan, who Halia swore to protect for all of eternity. Languages. Albay is home to several languages and host to different native languages of Bicol region. Out of 7 Bicol languages, excluding the Bisacol languages, which are Bisayan languages, only Pandan Bicol of northern Catanduanes is not used, or which the origin is not from Albay. The languages in the province is very diverse, which includes the languages of Albay Bicol group, which comprises the languages of West Mireya, East Mireya, Liban and Buanon. Of the 4 Albay Bicol languages, Buanon is the only one not used in Albay but rather in Buhi, Camarines Sur. Rinconada Bicol is a minority language in the province and used by people in barangays of Libon and Pulangi that are near the boundary of Bato and Ariga in Camarines Sur. Another primary language used in the province is Central Bicol, which is the native tongue of the population on the eastern coast of the Bicol Peninsula. Both Albay Bicol languages and Rinconada Bicol are members of Inland Bicol group of languages, while Central Bicol is a language member of Coastal Bicol. The Tabaco, Legazpi, Sorsogon dialect of Central Bicol is spoken in Legazpi, Tabaco and neighboring municipalities on the east side of Albay, and some parts of northern Sorsogon, especially in Sorsogon City. The majority of the inhabitants also understand English and Filipino as second languages. Aguas Farm and Resort Economy Poverty Incidence of Albay source. Philippine Statistics Authority. Agriculture is the main industry in Albay, which produces crops like coconut, rice, sugar and abaca. Handicrafts are the major source of rural income and comprises a fairly large share in the small-scale industries of the province. Forestry, cement production and paper making are other sources of livelihood. The manufacture of abaca products such as Manila hemp, hats, bags, mats, furniture, home decors, and slippers is one of the main sources of income in the rural areas. Production of abaca fiber experienced a boom from the late 1800s until the American period. Fishing is the main livelihood along both shores of the province. Tourism, especially related to Mayan volcano, also creates income for Albay. For the year 2013, Albay had a total of 339,445 foreign tourist arrivals. Government Albay has 3 congressional districts encompassing its 18 municipalities and 3 component cities. More Information District, Representative. Transportation roads. Albay has 383.22 kilometers, 238.12 miles, of national roads, mostly paved with asphalt, with 5.25 kilometers, 3.26 miles, remaining unpaved. Maharlika Highway, N1, AH26, serves as the principal road connection between other provinces. Most of the province are served by secondary national roads, assigned route numbers in the series, namely Bicol 630 and Bicol 640. Almost all of the cities and municipalities are connected by national roads, except for Rapu-Rapu. In order to spur development in the province, the Toll Regulatory Board declared Toll Road 5 the extension of South Luzon Expressway. A 420-kilometer, 4-lane expressway starting from the terminal point of the now under construction Slex Toll Road 4 at Barangay Mayo, Lucena City in Quezon to Matnog, Sorsogon, near the Matnog Ferry Terminal. On August 25, 2020, San Miguel Corporation announced that they will invest the project, which will reduce travel time from Lucena to Matnog from 9 hours to 5.5 hours. Water Transport. Albay is the region's principal transshipment point with its ports: Tabaco International Port, Legazpi National Port, Payo Duran Provincial Port, and the Pantao Regional Port. Air transport. Traveling to the province by air is served by the Bicol International Airport in the municipality of Daraga, adjacent municipality of Legazpi City. The airport is the province's gateway from Manila and Cebu City in the Visayas. The province was formerly served by the now defunct Legazpi Airport. Railroads. Albay is served by the main line of the Philippine National Railways, PNR, and has commuter service between Naga and Camarines Sur. Trains to Manila, Tutuban. The Mayan Limited is suspended from November 2012. 4 stations serve Pulangi, Ligao, Guinobatan, and Legazpi, respectively. Aerial view of the Legazpi Grand Central Terminal front area of the Bicol International Airport.